What's going on? Today is Monday. And as you guys know, every single Monday we come at you, we spit fire, we spit the truth and nothing but the truth. Today we got my boy Chris Diaz, C Dizzle E Wizzle E Shiz over here.
God.
You like the intro, huh?
Brother, you on nitrous, dog?
Always, bro. I'm always excited, fired up, excited about life. Well, today what we're going to talk about is how to make money in your 20s. If you're under 30, this is for you. How to make money in your 20s, okay? So we had some ideas we're talking about. Like, how do you start making money in your early 20s? Like, what do you got to do? Right? And you've probably done a lot of things out there. I've done a lot of things myself. But what is the best thing to do in 2024, 2025 to make money? And we were talking earlier about one of my friends. He does OnlyFans management.
Yeah.
And we were discussing that. He's like, would you actually do that? And I was saying, I would actually not be. Listen, there's nothing wrong with doing it, I think, in my opinion. What do you think about that?
I think it's a great point that Michael's bringing up because I disagree. When you are just pursuing money, then money's going to be your master and you're going to be becoming its servant. And so when something isn't morally aligned with my compass or my internal values, I wouldn't do it even if it was for the money. Because it's those exact things that are destroying the generation and creating a lot of conflict between families, between children, between education, and making everybody just really get away from God.
I mean, I'll be honest with you, it's not a godly thing to do, of course, but I'm just thinking back, and I'm 21 years old, right? Some people are watching, I'm 21 years old. What's the problem? I mean, you were saying that it's affecting families, affecting men, making men weak, but I'm like, people are getting affected by it no matter what. There's so many people out there that are spending money. I didn't realize how many men
But
and
why
boys.
are they getting affected by it is the question. It's because there's no governing law, policies, there's no respect for religion, there's no preservation.
By the way,
of
I'm not saying that I
tradition
would
or
do
the
that. I'm not saying it's a good thing to do, right?
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like, why not? I always have this kind of mindset. I never say no to something. I always look at it from this angle, from that angle. Like, why not? Why should I not do it? Does it go against my values, my principles, my morals? Like, I've never done it because like, my friend wanted to open up a strip club with me. I'm like, that's not my style. Yeah. I've never been to a strip club in my life. So, like, I don't do those kind of things. But let's look at it from the devil's advocate, right? Let's say, like, I don't have any morals or principles. What's so wrong with opening up an OnlyFans agency or a business? Like, what's so bad if the girl wants to, shake her and the guy wants to pay a little bit? What's the problem? I get a little commish.
I mean, that's the problem, that you're chasing money. And what happens is that you've made a lot of money, right? Has money really, at the end of the day, left you truly fulfilled? After
the money, no, but the actual chase of money and the chase of not the money, but the actual chase of the purpose and the dream is what really makes you feel good.
Exactly.
So I understand what you're saying.
It's the purpose that fulfills you, knowing that you're able to achieve something greater than yourself that's contributing to society for a positive impact. So when you're just chasing money to make money, it's going to feel good because you're going to get some dopamine, right? And you're going to get some nice things. You're going to upgrade your lifestyle. But at the end of the day, what is the purpose behind what you're doing? There's so many billionaires, multimillionaire celebrities that commit suicide. They kill themselves. They're unhappy. They're stressed. They have so many problems because they dedicated their lives to make money, thinking that that would bring them the fulfillment, the peace, the love, the joy that they really wanted to feel. So what I think is the problem is that when we look at humanity as a whole right now, masculinity is dying because women are taking advantage of social media. They're leveraging the platforms to target weakened men, and they're just monetizing off those men, and those men are fucking jerking off.
And
they're
by the way,
porn. They're not doing anything meaningful.
They're
with their
jerking
lives.
off and talking to all these girls, but they're actually talking to one of my friends or one of my boys who's managing the fucking agency. He's fucking crazy.
So it's don't get
You're
me
talking
wrong.
to men, guys.
Don't get me wrong. Look at Andrew Tate and the Tate Brothers, for example. I'm pretty sure that's how they made all their money. They started these kind of OnlyFans things, which at first I was like, oh man, I don't know if I can really fuck with these guys because they really made all of their money doing this OnlyFans thing. But if you see how they're leveraging their platform now after they made all that money to really wake men up, it's like there's some purpose behind that. And I'm sure that they had to, have those conversations with God behind closed doors and be like, oh damn, I really got to enlighten humanity after like the way that I made my money in per se an unclean way. And why I think that it's wrong, it's because you're rewarding, you're providing pleasure to a woman who at the end of the day has a father, right? Has a family, and now she's ashamed to that family.
You know what's crazy? I was watching a video that earlier today. There was a guy on some kind of podcast or something. He was saying that in other countries like South Africa, I've been to South Africa, and they have the highest unemployment rate in the whole world probably, right? Very high unemployment rate. And he was saying on the podcast how you girls, he was talking to OnlyFans girls, he's like, listen, you girls are selling your body for prostitution or whatever it may be, and you say that, oh, I have no choice, but in reality, you do have a fucking choice. Whereas in South Africa, a lady is literally selling her body, saying, hey, have sex with me because I'm gonna, and I need some money, and she really has no freaking choice because she doesn't bring money to the table today. Like, there is no jobs, so to say, right? Yeah. And he was saying that, I don't know if it's true or not, I'm just repeating what he said. He was like, you do have a choice. But some people in other places, they don't have a choice. And the lady was saying in South Africa, she was like, I wish I had a chance to be in America. I would wash dishes to not do what I'm doing right now, which is prostitution. 100%. But people here are not willing to wash dishes or get dirty, which is what I did. I got super dirty. One of my first jobs was working in a bagel shop. I was making sandwiches. I fucking hated it. I hated making sandwiches. And then I started working in a car wash, which was extremely physically excruciating because you're literally fucking doing this all day, cleaning fucking cars all day in a freaking beating sun. It wasn't fun. There was easy way outs, but guess what? Like selling drugs, all this bullshit. But in reality, I thought to myself, I need to build my work ethic muscle. And that's what I think a lot of guys nowadays in their 20s, if you want to make money, go build your work ethic muscle. Don't worry about making a shit ton of money early on. Worry about getting your work ethic muscle built up. Because once that work ethic muscle is built up, you could do anything.
100%. I totally
to win in business, you don't have to be the smartest person in the room to win in business. My opinion. I think you could be surrounded by smart people, but you have to be the one that's able to see things that the team cannot see sometimes. Because there's some smart fucking people out there, but they don't see the vision. They don't see the dream. So you got to be so persistent and so determined to outlast everyone around you and not give up on that dream. Like, I've been in business for 8 years, and boy, have I been slapped up in business. Yeah. Ups, downs, lefts, rights. I've made money. I've lost money. Left, right. I mean, it was all kinds of stuff in the past 8 years of this actual company that I have right now. So it's not easy. Mm-hmm. But one thing that I said to myself is perseverance is my fucking middle name.
Right.
I will not stop. I refuse to give up. I'd rather die than give up.
Well, you know why? It's because you have a purpose. And part of what you help you develop this work ethic is because you said one day I want to be the change that I want to see in the community around me and my friends and the people that were once in foster homes. They grew up with traumas, with wounds, with problems in their family. You said, I want to be that black sheep that breaks this generational curse, that goes out there and shows them that it's possible. And so with you putting in all that work ethic, look at what you've been able to do. You built a company, you're impacting, hundreds of people, you've trained hundreds of people, and you're having a positive impact on all the people that work around you, and that's what truly fulfills you, knowing that you're waking up every day with a purpose. We're filming this show right now, this episode. You have a podcast, you're out doing street interviews. It's because you want to give back to the youth. You have a purpose behind what you did because you made so much money. It's like, dude, this doesn't fulfill me. I need to contribute and give back.
I mean, to be honest, it all kind of connects. You have to, and I'll talk about the 7 areas of life all the time, right? You have the physical, you have the mental, you have the emotional, you have the spiritual, financial, relational, and recreational. And when you're winning in all 7 areas of your life, which is very difficult to win in all areas at the same freaking time, right? Because you have challenges in, let's say, your spirituality. You may have challenges in your financial situation at that time, but you may be growing in your relationships. You may be growing in, your mental or your emotional stuff. So I always try to work on all 7 areas of my life on a daily basis. Right? So when you focus on all 7 areas of your life, it's so much easier because you're getting yourself better every single day in those areas, and you feel like you have a real reason to why you're living in the first place. But a lot of people, they chase one thing, financial success. That's all they fucking think about. Yeah. They don't mentally grow. They don't grow their mindset. They don't learn anything new on a daily basis. They don't work on their emotions. They don't work on their emotional intelligence. They don't work on their spirituality. They don't work on their relationships with their family, friends, or whoever it may be, or their spouse even, right? So they don't work on any of their areas of life except money. And those are the people that usually kill themselves because they're like, you make all this money, now what?
At the expense of the other areas.
The other areas. I'm not saying that money is not important. I think money is extremely important. You can do so much with money. Like, you can't give money to the poor if you have no money, right? You can't take care of your mom, your brother, your friend, your cousin, your sister. You can't buy food. We understand you need money. But I think in your 20s, in my opinion, you shouldn't be chasing the dollar bill. You should be chasing the skill sets behind what it takes to get the dollar bill. Because the skill set that I got was communication, learning how to communicate with people in the streets.
And to your point, you said it right. Work ethic, number 1, developing that work ethic muscle, and then using that skill.
Too many people are lazy. Too many people. Like, I'll give you an example, right? What time is it now? It's 9 o'clock. Okay? Now, we always say 9 o'clock at night, people want to go to sleep, go to work. 9 o'clock, we're fucking shooting a podcast. Yeah. 9 o'clock, right? And the reason why I say that is because most people, they're like, oh, it's 9 o'clock, it's time to go to bed. Or, oh, it's 9 o'clock, let's go out tonight. Whatever it may be. It's 9 fucking o'clock, we're shooting a fucking podcast. Yeah. Why? My work ethic. Nothing will get in the way of my work ethic. For me, that's a battle between me and me. And I've trained my mind and my muscle to not be lazy. As a matter of fact, I can literally work from 9 in the morning till fucking 12 at night. I enjoy it. And I'll be honest with you, right now in certain areas of my business, we have some challenges where there's certain areas of business that we need to like change this, add this, remove that. And it's not fun sometimes, right? Matt knows sometimes some of the things we're going through, but it doesn't matter. Through the ups, through the downs, I still find the excitement in the process. And I think a lot of 20-year-olds in their 20s, they're comparing themselves to people on social media, which fucks with your mind. Because you see this, like I give an example. It almost fucked with me today, but I was like, I no, why should it fuck with me? I saw Alex Hormozy post, 26, I did this, 27, I was this, 28, I did this, 29, I did this, 30, I did this. And I'm like thinking to myself, how many fucking people, kids, 20, 30 years old, are watching his fucking video or watching that picture and saying to themselves, at 26, I was fucking a bum. At 30 years old, I'm still a bum. At 35, I'm bigger bum than I was when I was 25. Because now I have debt and I have kids, right?
Yeah.
So think about that. And I was like, most people are going to look at that and not be inspired by his success because they're looking at their life like, wait a minute, this guy's so fucking amazing. He did X, Y, and Z. I haven't done shit yet.
I think that's
and you
when
can fall
have
trap of that.
You got to have self-awareness, right? In those moments to know and reframe the meaning that you're giving things. Because nothing in life has a meaning except the meaning that you give it.
100%.
And so in life, there's a lot of polarity, right? There's a positive and there's a negative. So when people focus on the negative, they're going to experience a negative emotion.
1000%.
It's going to come in the form of self-doubt. And it causes anxiety. It causes stress.
Fear.
It causes fear, right? Paralysis. But rather, if you choose to shift your focus on the positive, you're going to develop a feeling inside of your heart that's going to be a feeling of faith, a feeling of certainty, a feeling of confidence.
Clarity.
If he did it, I can do that. If I apply myself, I can do that. You know, and that's where you have to take control of your focus and catch yourself in those moments on, am I putting a positive meaning behind that, or am I attaching a negative meaning? Because your
So how do you do that?
meaning will create your reality.
So how does someone watching this podcast, watching this video, how do you, in your opinion, how do you create that clarity, that focusedness to get the shit done and not use the negative energy to compare yourself and put yourself down? Like, what can you do to start seeing things in a positive light?
For sure. I think the first thing is self-awareness, right? Becoming self-aware of what are the thoughts that are lurking inside of your mind. Identifying, are these thoughts positive or are these thoughts negative? Is this empower me or disempower me? And you know you're going to feel some type of way. If you feel down, it's because you're focused on the negative side. So you got to snap out of it. You got to make a radical change in your body and your physiology and the way that you think. And you have to start shifting your focus to something more positive, something more vividly compelling, exciting, enthusiastic that you can look forward to, which is why the Bible says a city without a vision shall perish. It's literally telling you, if you don't have a vision larger for yourself, you're going to be depressed, you're going to be stressed, you're going to be anxious, you're going to be stuck.
100%.
Because everything that exists today was once created through the mind,
1000%.
through the power of our imagination. And most people don't take the time of the day to go inside of their bedroom, lock themselves for 15 minutes,
And meditate.
Yeah.
So true.
The greatest teacher of all time, Jesus Christ, taught us, take no thought. What does that mean? Clear out the negative thoughts, clear everything out of your mind, and go inside into the upper room. That's where you'll meet your Heavenly Father. He's basically saying, meditate, use your imagination, because that is the force for all creation. And it can literally happen in 15 minutes, but most people are
stuck in reality.
To their cell phones. They're addicted to the comparison. They're addicted to technology. And so it has control over them.
True.
Instead of us taking control of it and using our computers, our mental software, our programming designed by God, not by man, to create the life that we want to experience every single day. So to answer your question, it's really about, number one, taking a step back, being self-aware. I'm feeling negative emotions. I'm drawing this anxiety. I'm living in fear. I'm doubting my abilities. Why? No, this is not the way that my Creator designed me to be. I was created in His image, and He gave me power and dominion over all earth. What does that mean? We got to go into the heaven, into the higher self, into the subconscious mind, get into a room, lock ourselves, get into meditation, clearing out the mind, and letting those divine thoughts come in through us so we can start to create. Because our outside world is just a reflection of what's inside. And we just need to reprogram the subconscious mind through constant repetition in order to take control of those thoughts and create the reality that we want to experience.
I love that. You said it so perfectly. And I was actually listening to a book the other day. I don't remember exactly the title of the book, but it talks about how everything in this world was created first in the mind, then it was created in the physical reality, right? Because if you think about it, it was always here on this planet. like the cell phone, the watches, the cars, everything was already created hundreds and thousands of years ago. Someone had to sit down and become conscious of the information that came to play. For example, we needed to understand the laws of physics that Isaac Newton created. Now he didn't create it, but he just discovered.
He became self-aware.
He became self-aware of like, wait a minute, the apple fell next to him. He's like, wait a minute, this is inertia, this and that. And physics came along. And then all of a sudden, some other guy came up with the combustion engine. And another guy came up with a car. And some guy came up with electricity. I mean, it's all through consciousness and seeing the world because it was always here.
Yeah.
Everything was here. We just had to what?
Yeah.
Be conscious enough to see that it's there.
Right.
So in your life, everything that you want is already here.
Yeah.
You just have to be conscious enough and build your consciousness to the level where you can actually attract that information and then apply the information. The problem is there's some people that get conscious. Oh, revelation. They see something, they get excited, they get their emotions up, but they miss the missing component, action. Because how many people do you think thought about what Isaac Newton thought about?
Yeah.
How many apples have fell next to someone that was sitting there and saying, oh, you know what? This is interesting.
Yeah.
Right? Law of momentum, law of inertia. A lot of people probably thought about it, but he was the first person to take massive action and say, hey, world, look at this idea. Right? Think about all the other things that were created in the world. That person took the time and energy to create that idea, right, and show it to the world.
Yeah.
But someone else probably thought about it, but they just didn't do anything with it.
And right, a lot of times people have what's called a disease in their attitude, which means they're indifferent, right? They can see, oh, it just fell. I don't care.
They're not curious enough.
They're not curious enough. They don't have that mentality of adopting curiosity and saying, you know what? Wow, that's interesting. Why? How did this happen? Like, people don't take the time to really
100%.
question a lot of things that happen in their life.
Oh,
and
you just said something amazing.
They just live on
Ah.
autopilot, and 95% of that autopilot is negativity because our brain is wired to help us survive, not to help us thrive. And so many people might be asking themselves, but Chris, I've tried meditating, or I've closed my eyes for 15 minutes, but nothing comes up. Well, then you have to start thinking, what do I want for my life? What do I want the next year, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years of my life to be like? Because it's not the money that we're after. It's the emotions that the money are going to give us. Like, if you were to get a Lamborghini SVJ right now, how would that make you feel?
Amazing.
Yeah.
For a couple of days, couple of weeks, couple of months,
But
then it dies out.
That's the feeling that we're after, right? It's that emotion. And that's why you have to have something of purpose, because those emotions are going to die out. But the reason we want that money is to feel those feelings. So the key is to have that wish fulfilled through the emotion inside of you, feeling that in the next 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, I want to take care of my family. I want to have a real estate property portfolio. I want to be able to live a house on the beach. I want to be able to have a company where I'm impacting, employing hundreds of people. Whatever it is, everybody has a unique path and a unique purpose and a unique destination. But you got to start thinking about what is it that you want so you can begin to create that. Because we are co-creators with God. He gave us our imagination. He gave us our physical abilities to go out and take massive action and to continue trying over and over again until we get that result. Because if we persist long enough, we're going to make it happen.
You know what's crazy? Someone asked me the other day, how do you know if someone's going to be successful or not? And I always say this. You can't really tell who's going to be successful or not, but you can, kind of. The person who takes action. It doesn't have to be the right actions. I don't know. If you would have met me at 19 years old, you would have said, this guy will never make it. But one guy saw me and said he will make it. One guy. He was my mentor. And I was 19 years old. I was extremely lost and confused about life. I had no idea where I was going. I knew nothing that I know about today. And he took me under his wing. And I always asked him, what did you see in me? Because I didn't see anything myself. What did you see in me? He said, you always created action. Like, I told you to do X, you just did it. You didn't ask questions. You just fucking went and did it. You may have not known how to do it. You didn't know how to do it the right way. You failed so miserably. But you always kept getting up and kept doing it. Get up and kept doing it. And I thought about that, and I was like, you know what? That's so crazy, because how do you become successful in anything? Look at a baby. A baby bounces his head 100 times on the floor and keeps getting up and up and up and up and up, and finally it starts walking. Yeah. It doesn't look at, oh my God, I failed 100 times. Like, I failed a lot in business, man. You probably failed a lot in life too, but those failures is what shouldn't stop you, should propel you to say,
stepping stones.
Yeah, don't do this, don't do that, right? And someone could throw a rock in your face, but you can catch it and say, oh, thank you, I can step on that shit.
And, you build the path.
Exactly, right? So I looked at it, if I want to know who's going to be successful, I just look at their actions.
100%.
Like, how do they act? Are they, even if, you can always steer a car that's going 100 miles an hour. You cannot steer a car that's freaking parked.
And I'll give you an amazing example in addition to that. They say actions speak louder than words. It's the same thing. Like, business is very similar to what it's like when you're trying to date a woman, right? If a woman says she likes you or she's into you or she wants to see you, but then she's flaking out and she's not showing up,
Actions,
her
bro.
actions speak louder means she's not committed or she's not interested enough in you.
Or she got a roster, you're number 4.
But my point is that think about it in your terms when you're trying to take action on business or in your plans or in your vision. It's like if you're not taking action, then you're just like that girl who's just showing you she's not interested because
1000%.
it's just talk. It's all pure
100%.
talk.
You could tell. You could tell. Talking is very easy because, like, remember talking. It's fucking easy. Coming here was the hard part.
Yeah.
Getting
Showing
dressed,
up.
showing up.
Yeah.
9 o'clock, 10
Yeah.
o'clock. It's hard.
But so that brings me to the next point that I wanted to touch upon, is that we've talked about the importance of having a vision, right? The importance of meditation, grounding yourself, clearing your mind, getting in a good headspace so you can begin to create, right? Having a strong work ethic, that building up that muscle and just like doing it no matter what. Now, another component is, what are the skills? What are skills that you use in your career, in your business, that allowed you to, reach a level of success where you can, you've created a fulfilling and extraordinary life for yourself?
I would say the number, I don't want to say number one skill, but there's a bunch of skills that you need. If you look at any billionaire, millionaire, any successful person, musician, whatever it may be, they learn how to deal with people. Because we're literally dealing with people on a daily basis, right? And if you know how to deal with people and learn the 16 different personalities that are out there and understand how each personality is ticked, how they move, how they make decisions, why they make decisions, when they like to make decisions, how they interact with other personalities, like you just understand people a little bit better, you'll be able to get farther in life because you're able to communicate better, you're able to lead them better, you're able to relate to them better, you're able to get money from them better because because you're selling a product or a service. So I think the best thing that I've learned was how to deal with people. And the first person you need to learn how to deal with is who? Yourself. So a lot of people are like, oh, I want to start learning about people and personalities and all this shit that's out there. I understand. Hold your horses. Study yourself for a little bit. Go take 6 months to a year of college on Michael Barayev or Chris Diaz or whatever your name is. Take a lesson on yourself. Write down what you like, what you dislike, what you hate, what you love, what moves you, what drives you, what gets you to stop. What do you feel when you're lazy, when you're tired? Why do you not want to go to the gym? Write those things down and look at it and say, okay, who am I? What am I about? And when you understand yourself better, it's much easier to understand the world.
Yeah.
The day that I figured out myself, which didn't take one day, it wasn't like a revelation. I woke up one day and was like, oh shit, I know Michael Barayev. No, it was months and years of work. I started to figure myself out. Wow, I like to work. Wow, I like to grind. Wow, I like the feeling of being different. Why do you think I love to hustle? It's because I love the pain? No. In the psychosis of my fucking brain, right? I enjoy being a separator. I like to separate myself from the masses of assets. It fucking makes me feel good. When someone says, oh, you're not like them, oh my God, you just turned me on. When someone tells me you're not like these people, it makes me excited because you literally just said, I am not like the masses. I love to be part of the 1%er. I love to be different. Everyone's going this way. I always go to like events and stuff like that. Everyone's going to a big ass fucking long line. I go to the fucking back. Why do I do that? And I get in trouble. So I got in trouble at the Valley TV event. Why do I get in trouble? I just can't follow the masses of asses. It fucking irks me. I love being different. I love doing things different. And in some cases, it has helped me make a lot of money. In some cases, I lost some money, right? Because I wanted to be different. But I've learned that Michael Barayev, is driven by being different. So I learned that about myself by taking so many notes about Michael Barayev. Like, why do I keep doing this? Why do I do social? Why am I doing interviews in the street? Who the fuck does that? First of all, now there's a bunch of new characters getting unlocked, right? We see it all the time. But when I started doing this 2 years ago, there was like 7 people, maybe 8 people max that were at top pages. Right? There wasn't that many people doing it a couple of years ago. Now everyone's trying to get on the trend, but we started this shit a couple of years ago, right? And I only did it because I was like, when do you see a business owner, right, whether he's successful or not, doesn't matter, that's a business owner going out there asking questions to the public, trying to inspire the youth? I'm like, I haven't seen that. I see a bunch of kids doing it, teenagers doing it, asking questions. I'm like, you know what? I want to do it. It's different. At that time, my girlfriend, at that time, she's like, oh, what are you going to do talking to people in the street? I'm like, because you just said that, yeah, absolutely. Because I want to do the exact opposite of what you guys think, right? So to me, I like that 1% kind of personality or mindset where like, I want to be different. So I figured that thing out by myself. So that's a skill set, right? I learned
self-discovery. You would say it's a skill set.
Self-discovery. You'd
And
say
it's
it better.
and you said you went back to the self-awareness, getting to know yourself,
Yes.
getting to know the way that you think, the way you behave, the way that you act, the continuous habits that you engage in, and the reason why behind you do what you do. So that's a skill right there in self, that self-discovery. And then what was the next?
So just to finish the self-discovery, that self-discovery led me to understand myself and what I wanted. The mistake I made at 25 years old, I didn't have my self-discovery filled up yet. I didn't know exactly what I really wanted out of myself yet. I had an idea. That led me to attracting the wrong person into my life, in the relationship, which is why I think getting married in your early 20s, I think is a little bit scary because it's a hit or miss. It's a 50-50 chance you might get the right person. I don't know, okay? Based on my statistics for what happened to me, I could have, if I would have got married to any of the girls I dated in my 20s, I would have been fucked right now. Miserable. But who I am today at 32 years old, right? I'm about to be 33. I've learned exactly the type of woman that I'm looking for. So I made a list. And people say, oh, Michael, you're crazy. I made a list of 100 things that I wanted out of a girl because I figured out what works for me. Right? What works for Michael Barayev. I need, like, if you ever think of a puzzle piece, one puzzle has the little thing sticking out, the other one has a hole, right? It's a puzzle piece. You got to figure out what fits you perfectly.
Yeah.
So I made a list of all the things that I need for me to kind of mesh with someone. And guess what? I met someone recently. We don't know yet what's going to happen, right? But 90 plus checks. Think about that.
So
That's
how many on your list?
100.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So 90%.
She has 90. I did a check today also. 91 checks. Right? That's fucking crazy. I have not met someone that has 90 plus checks.
Yeah, it's big time.
It's a big one, right? 91. And it kind of scares me a little bit. Like, damn, bro, I actually fucking drew out this list and it's true. It's fucking crazy. Listen, it's only been it's only been over a month or two, right? So it's not a big deal. We'll see. I don't know. Maybe it's just a fucking prank that God has. Maybe not, right? Maybe this is the one. I don't know. But it's just cool to see that list there's a person out there that's that list. Now, if I would have had the list of 25, if I would have tried to build a list of 25 or 20, it would have been 5 things. Because I didn't know myself yet.
So did you build a list of the person that you wanted to become? Did you ever like build a character or a?
Yeah, because I looked at that list. I'm like, okay, who would this person want to be with?
Yeah.
Would this person want to be with someone that's lazy or driven? Who would this person want to be with? And I came up with the conclusion: this person would want to be with someone that's an alpha-driven fucking male.
But on a personal level, when you were growing, developing yourself, did you come up with like a life script, like Michael Barayev is a determined, relentless, enthusiastic?
I did
leader,
because I have a
passionate?
self-talk audio every single year that I create. It's a new audio message, and it's literally I have it's like 5 minutes long of reading it. So I programmed myself to who I wanted to become. Absolutely.
So that would you say that contributed to shifting an identity from you?
I mean, your talk, the way you talk about yourself to yourself when you're by yourself, like you talking, physically talking, is important. I talk to myself. No, I'm not. I'm not answering myself and arguing with myself. Okay, that's when you have problems. Okay, you got to go to the psychiatrist after that. But when you talk, like I literally look in the mirror and say, Michael, you're fucking amazing. You're the best. You're a champion. You're this, you're that, and that motivates. Looking into my own eyes, saying that empowers me.
Yeah.
And my subconscious mind is like, oh yeah, bring that information in. We know him. We trust him because they trust. It's me.
Yeah.
When someone else says you're stupid, my body says, oh, deflect that. Yeah. But when I say it, oh my God, it's the most powerful thing on the planet. Yeah. So people go out there, oh, I'm so stupid. Why the fuck would you say that? You're literally telling your brain, yeah, let that information in. Yeah. I don't do that. Yeah. I speak exactly what I want. I always say this to my guys, speak what you want, not what you have. I'm so afraid to say the challenges I have in life because I'm like, I don't want to keep bringing it up. Yeah. It's like, let's say you're losing money right now. Don't say I'm losing money. Yeah. Why would you say that? You're literally reinforcing. Yeah, so I'm like, we're going through a challenge. You could say challenge. It's a better word than saying it's hard. I don't like the word hard, like challenge. What does challenge mean? It's hard enough, but I can still beat it. Hard means it's not beatable. Challenges, I can beat it, right? So self-discovery, I would say, is number one. Number two, right, that helped me out in skill set was dealing with people, right? Self-discovery, learning how to deal with people, and that comes with communication, and it comes with sales. I look at almost every single successful individual in the planet, whether it's politics, lunatics, woodticks, business, it doesn't matter. What do you see the common denominator is? They know how to deal with people and sell people their vision, their goals, their aspirations, their products, and their services. I'm like, okay, sales, bro. So they don't teach this shit in school. I'm like, why don't they teach sales? Why don't they teach sales? Because people think of a salesman as someone that's knocking on the door, shoving a vacuum cleaner up your ass. That's what they think of sales. To me, sales is persuasion, right? Me showing you an idea and persuading you that this is a better idea than what you thought of, right? And most people don't have that skill set. They have it, but they don't have it as fine-tuned as the way I think I have it, right? I have it very fucking well to the point where I get anything I fucking want always. And I don't abuse that fucking skill set because you can really abuse it. You can literally fucking sell anyone on something that's so not good, right? You could sell girls to come to your house, all this shit. So I use it in a very ethical way.
Yeah.
As long as it's going to benefit me and them in a win-win situation, I'm selling it, right? So I think self-discovery, sales, dealing with people, and leadership, in my opinion.
Who did you learn sales from, or was somebody that you read their books? Went to
I mean,
the
I would
events
say,
for
I would say,
sales?
I would say there was a lot of people I learned sales from, right? Through grit, through mentorship, through, Grant Cardone was a big one at a time. Brian Tracy was a big one at the Zig Ziglar. I mean, there was so many great salespeople out there that you could learn the tactics of sales. There's some new guys in town right now with Jeremy Miners, and I just heard of them the other day, or these new guys that are popping up on social media. I don't know if it's good or bad. I have no idea. But anyone that's teaching you sales, for the most part, they know what they're talking about. You'll gain some traction, right? I never looked at, is he a billionaire, and I listen to him. No, if he's fucking making a couple of dollars more than me, I'm listening.
Yeah.
If he may be making less money than me, but he has a skill set and something that I don't have. Okay,
Well,
I'm
that
learn from it.
shows something that a lot of people don't have, and it's that their ego gets in the way. Oh man! And I did an interview with Alex Morton on my podcast, and he said something about ego equals broke bank account or something like that. There's like a quote that like intertwines both of them. But anyway, humility, right? You just said even if he's making a couple more than me, I'm listening to that guy.
Yeah, because he has something that he
But most
became.
people are not humble.
He became conscious in that area that I have not been conscious enough yet. I'm not conscious in physics, but if someone else is conscious in physics and I need that information to build my new car, I'm gonna shut the fuck up and say, hey, what do you know about that? So I think everyone could teach you something, which is why when I go to the interviews in the street, I'm the most curious fucking guy on the planet, which is why I think my videos, I get a lot of comments on this and a lot of DMs. People love my videos, not because of me, because I'm not even in the videos.
Yeah.
I'm just the one, inspiring the question.
Yeah.
I'm asking the question. And my questions are to dig fucking deep to figure out what is this person, what does this soul want to give out to the universe.
Yeah.
And a lot of times he sees it, the first couple of questions are fucking dead.
Yeah.
But then I get deep. And once I get deep, the fucking person just becomes alive.
Yeah.
And then they tell you exactly what they're passionate about. And those are the videos that do very well. Because you can see the person talking as if
Yeah.
they're like having a conversation with a random friend.
Yeah.
Because all my interviews, if you look at them, they're just like having a great conversation with me.
Yeah.
It's not because the person is so fucking enthusiastic about talking on an interview. It's not. It's because I was able to tickle their heart a little bit
Yeah.
to talk about something that's super important to them.
Yeah.
And that's my goal as an interviewer, to do that. And maybe I'll come up with a course one day how to do this shit. That might be a good idea. But there's a skill set on learning how to tickle people emotionally to figure out what's important to them, and that's also a leadership tactic to get to learn something about someone else to be able to lead them properly.
Is there a framework that you use for that?
I don't have the framework built out on a piece of paper. It just became so natural to me because ever since I was 17, 18, 19 years old, I've always been out there contacting people, prospecting people, getting sales and knocking on doors, banging on phone calls. So it just became natural instinct to not be interesting and be interested. And also because I'm so curious about the world and about life and about God and about everything, I'm always curious to know, what does he know? What does he have? What does he know? Like, what's up with that person? Why did he say that? Why did he do this? Why not this? Why not that? Why did he say that? You just said it's okay to cheat. Like I asked a girl the other day, it's would you be okay with your boyfriend cheats? She's like, yeah. I'm like, wait a minute, why? So my 3-letter word why just gets me to deeper conversation.
Yeah.
Really? That's okay.
You're
Why do you
going
think?
layers deeper.
I'm digging deep, man, and I'm okay with that. And I'm willing to dig so deep where they say, yo, it's too deep. No problem. I'm gonna dig even more, because usually when it's too deep, I got you.
Yeah.
There's something important you want to share with the world that you haven't shared with anyone, right? So I think psychiatrists and therapists do a very good job at digging deep too, because
I mean,
just
you have to.
that's their
You
job.
gotta get to the root.
You gotta get to the root, right? So I think those are some of the skills that have helped me tremendously. And I think if you're a 20-year-old watching this or a 30-year-old, build your skill set, man. You don't need to be the smartest guy in the room. You can always find smart people, and you can get them to help you with your vision if you know these few skill sets that have helped me tremendously, in my opinion.
100%, man. And so we just spoke about the way to make money if you're 30 or less, right? If you're in your 20s specifically, now that you are in the decade of the 30s to 40s, right? And you have more skin in the game, you've built multiple companies, and now you are looking to get to the next level. What is going to be that key for you to build wealth in your 30s?
So for me,
30s to 40s.
a lot of people, I use my 20s to fail a shit ton. And I'm in a position where I can still fail a shit ton because I don't have any family, I don't have any children, I don't have a wife. So I can still do that. And I think that sometimes when you're in your 30s and you have a wife and kids, it's hard to fail. Because you got to start a new business, it may fail. You want to start a new company, it may not work out. You want to hire some new people, but you might have to lose out on taking your wife to dinner or something, right? So for me, I don't want to be put in a position where I cannot fail. So I do want to have a wife. I do want to have a children. I do want to have that kind of life taken care of. But I'm very protective of not losing that 20-year-old mindset of going out there and failing forward. Like, I honestly, I was talking to my friend, I don't know who I was talking to yesterday. I was like, I got my 30s left, I got my 40s left, I got my 50s left, and I got my 60s left. I literally got 40 years. Like, I don't think I'm going to be 60 years old and beat up and tired. No. I do Muay Thai, I go to the gym, and there's a lot of 60-year-olds out there that look fit and are healthy and they look good. Now, unless some kind of disease, God forbid, disorder, God forbid, God forbid, God forbid, God forbid. But outside of that, if I just do what I do today and keep healthy lifestyle, I should be fine at 60 years old to have the same energy levels. People told me in my 20s, oh, you're going to lose your energy levels. My energy levels are way better today than I was when I was 20.
Man, I remember when I was 24, 23, and I met this guy that was 26 at the time. And he was like, bro, you look good. I see you on Instagram. You're lifting weights. You got a six-pack. And I'm like, yeah, why don't you have one? He's like, nah, bro, I'm 26, man. Once you get to my age,
Fuck that.
It's
It's a
harder to
limiting
burn fat.
belief.
It's all BS.
It's all bullshit. I'm going to be 50 years old, and I'm going to fucking look fine. As long as I do what I need to do. Go to the gym, do my Muay Thai, do my proper eating. Like, I'm at my peak, in my opinion. Like, my body right now, I'm at 10%. I just texted today. I'm 10.8% body fat. Nice. I'm 162 pounds, right? I'm fucking fit. I feel good. I feel healthy. Like, I feel great. Yeah. Can I last that for 5 years? Yeah, 5, 10 years. Why not? Just keep going to the gym, keep doing Muay Thai, keep doing tactical training, keep doing all those things that keep you alive and young-spirited, and be with a younger woman, of course. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't talk to girls that are like in their 50s, no disrespect, because I want to be with someone that's like young and excited about life. You know what I mean? But I think, listen, I think that as a 20, 30-year-old, there's a lot. You do not give up if you're 30, even 40. Yeah. Like, I have a friend of mine turning 40. He's like, dude, I'm turning 40. I'm like, bro. That's prime time, baby. Yeah. You're still in second quarter, my G. Not even.
And especially since nowadays there's so many different medical breakthroughs that allow us to live longer with supplements, biohacking. There's definitely a lot of ways to extend life, but naturally we're just living longer this generation. Like, our parents were married, had us already way before the ages that we are now, but now we're seeing a prolonging in that. So I think that, like, the 30s are the new 20s in a way.
I think so. I think I think my opinion is you just gotta just enjoy your life, work, grind, build those skill sets in your 20s. In your 30s, you're gonna build, and in your 40s, you stabilize. In my opinion,
yeah, like
the right
in the 20s, just make mistakes. Like you said, fail forward, fail fast. Because that way you can build a strong foundation.
Fail a lot. It's okay to fail, man. It's okay to fail. If you fail in your 20s, what are you going to lose? Your Xbox? Yeah. Like, think about it. You can go back and live in your mom's house. It's fucking okay. Yeah. If you fail and you got to go live in your mom's house or your grandma's house, your uncle's house, who gives a shit? Yeah. Like, if I had to, like, I remember my biggest drive was not to do that, which is what helped me kind of propel me forward because I don't want to be embarrassed. But if you have to go do that, who cares? Yeah. What if you got to take a 6-month hiatus and kind of go backwards a little bit? Yeah. Take a little stretch back and then bing, and that's it, baby, you know? So anyway, I appreciate you guys. We love you guys. We support you guys. Thank you for supporting us. Thank you for supporting the Spinning Fire podcast. I got my boy Chris Diaz. If you do not know who he is, go watch him on social media. He interviews a lot of successful people as well. He's really popular in the social media world. He's worked with some great people like Patrick McDavid. Amazing guy. So go follow him as well. His Instagram is, I think, it's Chris Diaz. We appreciate you guys. Subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you guys in the next video.